going to learn today is the graphing for circular functions, graphs, and we'll do the sine and the cos first, and then we will go on and learn the graph for tan a bit later, right? Sine theta, y equals to sine theta, y equals to sine x. Probably I would say x would be more preferred. Y equals to sine x, just to be in sync with the book. Sine wave is a cyclic wave, crests and troughs. Right? 0 and 2 pi. The amplitude means the height. Amplitude is the maximum height your graph's got. So that's the amplitude. So your amplitude is 1. Period is where it repeats. It starts to repeat after 2 pi. So after 2 pi, it will start to repeat. So I call that as period. Is 2 pi. Right? Easy so far? Now, so this is a periodic function. The graph repeats itself after 2 pi's. The amplitude is the maximum, minimum is -1 and +1. Now, y equals to cos x. Y equals to cos x is exactly the same graph. So if I were to draw it somewhere here, so let's say this is 1 and this is -1. So is this repeated? Yes or no? Is this right or wrong? Who's telling me?
It looks right.
So this is 2 pi. And this is 0. And the bang in the middle is pi by 2. Sorry, pi. Right? Here you've got bang in the middle is pi. Here it's pi by 2. What about this one? What's that spot?
3 pi over 2.
3 pi over 2.
Is it the same graph just horizontally translated?
Yeah.
Yes. So you horizontally translated. So it's come here. Correct. Yeah. All right. This is what it is. What else? So that is y equals to cos x. Right? Now, generally speaking, if I say y equals to 2 sine x, then what I've done is I have increased the amplitude to 2. So the same graph here, and let's say this is extended to 2, would bump here, it'll peak here at 2, and probably will come at the same spot and will land here. So it's gonna rise up. Okay? Just pinches here. This is y equals to 2 sine x. So that means this number here defines how much is what is the amplitude, the high and the lows. the sine or the cos graphs. Same goes with cos as well. So let's say that I call this number as A. So if I A sine x, y equals to A sine x, A is the amplitude of the graph. Romel, you there?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, I'll just take it off from the board quickly, and then we'll talk about the general equation of a sine or a cos graph is y equals to A sine nx or nt, whatever you want to call it, right? This book says t, so take t. N theta, nx, this is again a variable sitting on the x-axis, right? Doesn't really matter.
But T would be the angle if you were to put in a unit circle.
Yep. Theta is the angle, right? Correct. The x-axis of the graph. If I were to talk about from a graph perspective, correct? Yeah. Now, this number A is the amplitude, it decides the amplitude. Now, this number N decides the period. My general, when this N is 1, when N is 1 and A is 1, the equation becomes y equals to sine t or sine x or sine theta. And we just graphed it and we said it is 2 pi. It is 2 pi. So that means this value of n must have done something to this 2 pi must have done something to this value to get a 2 pi. So book says 2 pi over n is the formula for the period. Now the question that we did that right at the beginning, I think it had something like a y equals to 2 sine 2 pi x over 3 plus 1. I think that was the question. And we were asked to find the period of the graph. So we use this formula. The period of any sine or cos graph is 2 pi over n. So in this, if I say my y equals to sine 2t, so n equals to 2, right Aishka? So in this case, Arman, what is my period? Period equals to, n is 2. 2 pi over n is 2. So the answer is pi. Whereas in this question here, my n is 2 pi over 3. So let's see what's the period. Period equals to 2 pi over n, right Aishka? My n is 2 pi over 3. So I'll say 2 pi over 3. Yes, Romel? 3 goes up. 2 pi cancel. The answer is 3. That is why the period of the graph is 3. Right? One more thing, I mean, since we're doing it. See, we've got different perspectives, okay? Let's look at the period from the Cartesian plane and try to ponder upon. What happens here in the graph, in the world of graph, this is what the sine graph is. It starts to repeat after 2 pi. Let's draw the graph here. Let's say you start to make a anti-clockwise rotation. You reach here, you reached pi. You reached here, You reached 2 pi. If you go from here, what are you doing? Circling again, repeating the same thing. So you are doing cyclic motion after the first round of 4 quadrants. That is what it just tells you here. Did you get that perspective? Right? This is what the cyclic, and that is why you get those cycles. And why, I don't know whether you pondered upon, why do you get this highs and lows?
The sine value is the greatest at pi over 2.
Because you hit the greatest where? Here?
Yeah.
And then the lowest here, then the greatest here, and then the lowest here. So it goes in the cycles. And y equals to sine x, you would hit sine a pi value which is 1, 0, 1, 0. All good? Make sense? Yeah? Alright. Any doubts so far?
Not yet.
From a concept standpoint? Romeo?
No.
No? Alright, cool. Now if I speak one me?
I just had this question.
Yeah.
Why is it negative again? It has 4 over 5. Why did you say it's negative?
In that question, we had, see, I had my cos x was a plus minus 4 over 5. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had given the domain to be pi by 2 to pi. Which quadrant is this? Which quadrant is this?
First?
Hmm?
Is it the first quadrant?
Pi by 2. Okay, see.
Oh, it's the second.
0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, and 2 pi.
It's the second quadrant.
Second. So in second quadrant, your ASTC tells you what? Cos should be what?
Negative.
Negative, and hence it is a minus 4 by 4 over 5. Now, if I give you a question quickly, very, very simple question. If I ask you, can you quickly graph y equals to 3 sine 2t? Can you graph this?
What's the domain? Just one cycle?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, just 0 from 0 to pi.
Yeah, but
What is the period of the function, Chris?
Pi.
Aishka, is he correct? Period of the function is pi?
Yeah.
Good. Aishka, what is the amplitude?
3.
Romeo, is she correct?
Yeah.
And Arman, how do I draw the graph? From 0 to pi, how high should I go? 3?
yeah,
Minus 3?
yeah.
And?
You finish the entire cycle at pi.
Yes? Chris, all good?
Yeah.
Romeo, yes? Okay, cool. If I were to ask you to graph y equals to, write it down, y equals to half sine x over 2. Just show one complete cycle.
Done.
Whenever you are graphing, first thing that you need to do is calculate your period, calculate your amplitude, and then draw the graph. Look at then the graph, sine or cos, and just do a cycle. Aishka, did you get it?
No.
What is the, Romel, did you get it?
No, the period and amplitude.
The graph itself.
I don't know how to draw it, but like, I know the period and amplitude.
But did you know how to draw it? No. Okay, let's quickly do it. Arman, did you draw it?
Yeah.
Chris, did you draw it? Alright. Ayushka, tell me what is the period of the graph? The formula for period is 2 pi over n. Tell me, what is the period of the graph? What is n? Tell me, what is n?
1/2.
Half. Yes, Romel? So if I say 2 pi over half, then what is the final answer for this one, Romel?
4 pi.
So this will be 4 pi. What is the amplitude of this graph, Romel?
0.5.
Half.
Ah.
Correct. Are you okay, Ayushka? The amplitude is half?
Yeah.
Now you know, and Arman and Chris, I'm assuming that this is what you've done, right?
Yeah.
Amplitude is half, period is 4 pi. I need to draw one cycle. Finish. Half here minus half here. And I say, alright, this is what? A sine. It finishes at 4 pi. Done. Yes?
You know how sometimes the graphs like repeat themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not just one cycle.
Domain kicks in. Now, if I would have said, let's say this was what, x or t or what angle did we use, the variable?
X.
X. So if I would have told you that then how many cycles?